now let's move on to player journey. Player journey, okay, I'm sorry, Player journey has 3 parts. First and foremost, defining how you plan to onboard. First 5 to 10 minutes spent on any game, any application, any portal, anything at all, decide whether the user or the player is going to come on board or not. The fundamental mistake that we often see is that people being presented with a form that has 25 fields. You fill it and then we will talk. Do you think those people are going to be motivated? No. If I am the user or if I am the player, why would I want to give my personal information for something that I don't even know? If it's going to help me or if I like it for that matter, right? So onboarding is getting people to play the game. It is very, very important. It is the first step. The second step obviously is retaining them, ensuring that they are there. And the third part is progression. Provide them with a means to build expertise. Keep training them, keep presenting them with different challenges so that they feel that their expertise is increasing. Right? Okay. Now, this is the definition that we saw on slide 3. I think. Okay. Doesn't matter. So we are going to rework on that. After looking at the gamification goals, after taking a look at the definition of a game designer or the role of a game designer, the player journey, is it okay if I say that gamification is thinking how to build your business in a way that the consumer is at the center? And creating an environment where they feel that they are in control. So technically, instead of that, this will be the definition of gamification. Now, like I said before, we are going to rework on this definition again one more time when we see how or if we can map this thing to documentation. Right? Okay, so we saw this diagram before. Yeah, what were the 3 entities? Game designer and player. Now, if I were to map this to documentation, any guesses what the 3 entities will be? Right? Perfect. So it's going to be end users all the time. What all you are going to work is content, yes, but also, you know, if you are a part of an application design or something, even that can come here. And ultimately, you have to take up the game designer's role. Right? So end users are obviously going to look up for the solution to a particular problem. And you are the person who has defined that journey in such a way that it is easy and it is so convenient that they are coming back to your portal if they have another query. Clear? Okay. Oops. Fine. Yeah. So now, like I said, we are going to change this definition so that it will map to documentation. Thinking how to build your content in a way that the reader is at the center and creating an environment where they feel that they are in control. They are not bored. They are not, you know, presented with a serial list of topics wherein, you know, you just keep reading. No. Now, yeah, so if we were to say that the player or the consumer is the end user for us, then gamification for documentation is going to be getting, the end users to read your content, keeping them busy and helping them to build expertise. Now this is where you have to think of means to train people. How do you do that in documentation? Tutorials? Right? CBTs? Yes? Okay. Now this is my favorite slide. I have actually randomly listed, by the way. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot more to this list, but this is something that I've randomly listed. And now you just recall whatever we have studied so far, right from the beginning, what games are, components of the games, definition and goals of gamification, player journey, game designer, everything, and tell me if gamification is, it's possible to apply gamification everywhere. Is it? Can I do that for all of the deliverables listed here? As long as? For everything? Okay. Not for everything, right? What all do you think gamification is not fit for what all from this list? Okay, and? All right, and? Well, this is what I think really. So in my opinion, the right hand side, it is very much possible to apply all the concepts and achieve all the goals of gamification, provided we are applying them to this part. So you mentioned that as long as user and content is there. Okay. So I will just give you an example. So when I conducted this session in my organization, someone asked me that, oh, what is the problem with online help? Why can't we apply gamification there? So I gave a very small example that time. Let's just consider, we all use Outlook, day in, day out, right? Let's just consider that there's someone who wants to know how to include signature in your email, right? One task, one very small task, want to achieve it. User will Google very small steps, all done, very happy, signature appearing at the end of every email. What next? How will you provide a progression in this situation? Sorry? Yeah, so, but this, I think, okay, I'll answer that. But this part I've listed because it has more to do with a lot of learning consistently. So I think knowledge base, what you're talking about is related to one particular product where there are a couple of tasks, if I'm not wrong, right? Okay, but this is, okay, let me just think of an example so that, there is a very good link, I forgot that link, that will help you to complete the beginner level of, for Unix commands. I totally forgot the URL, but that is not a forum, that's not even a tutorial, they have made it into a knowledge base. So I was coming from that, but yeah, you are right when you said that it was, if it is related to a product. Like for example, I think Information Center, IBM uses an Information Center, right? So they publish everything there, and it's pretty similar. For telecom products, there are just couple of tasks all lined up, you finish them, you are done, right? But whereas this, I'll give you another example. So for example, forums. How many of you have heard about Stack Overflow? Stack Overflow, right? What is Stack Overflow? Can you map it entirely, all the concepts, right? So for those of you who do not know what Stack Overflow is, so Stack Overflow is a forum mainly for developers. What they did was, if they got stuck in some portion while writing code or something, they would post questions, right? And people who are experienced in that area, they would post their answers. But then for how long this is going to go? It will get boring, right? So what Stack Overflow did is they started giving badges. They started giving some sort of a recognition to everybody. So the person posting a question, if it is a very popular question, that person is going to get, say, 100-point badge or something. That is motivating people to return to Stack Overflow to get their queries resolved. People who are answering the queries might as well think that, you know, I am the expert, I have answered 100 questions, I'm tired. Right? Why should they keep coming back here and resolve somebody else's queries? Right? So this, I mean, I find it a very interesting implementation of gamification, but forums that's a very good example of that, of forum, when I say forum. And e-learning related stuff, you can actually access codeshare.com, so they have put in some live animation as you learn technology related courses online. I'm not really sure if you have visited that site. Have you? Yeah, so you can take a look at that site. So for example, if you're writing something wrong, you know, there's a red arrow flashing, stuff like that. Small things, but good attempt, I would say, at implementing gamification. Okay, so moving forward, this is what I want everybody to do. Think before you gamify. Now that you know that what goals you want to address, you have also seen some areas that this can be very fruitful. Implementation of gamification can be very fruitful in certain areas. Please think before you gamify. Because what happens is, if there's anything new in the market, everybody wants to run in that direction. Not even stopping and thinking whether it is applicable to you or not. We just, you know, blindly follow that stuff and end up wasting a lot of your own time. So this was one of the reasons behind conducting this presentation, that somebody in my office requested that why don't you, you know, present it outside also, because this is a relatively new discipline. It's a relatively new area. People are still learning and trying to implement, trying to use the principles and implement gamification. So please think before you gamify. Gamify only if you want to engage more and more people. There is a need for more choices. And the primary requirement, the third point is very, very important actually. The primary requirement is for getting people somewhere, helping them to build expertise, helping them progress. All right. So I'm also going to talk a little on the references. So this is a very helpful course. Last year it was there on Coursera. I spent like 3 months. I religiously did all the assignments, but I'm telling you from experience that it's totally worth it. If you get a chance to do it, please do it. You will not require to read any other book, honestly. Gamification by Design is also a good book. About 3/4 of the book will clarify most of your concepts, but the 1/4 part of the book, you know, gets a little bit into coding and stuff like that. And MDA is a white paper. It's a good white paper. MDA stands for Mechanics, Dynamics and Aesthetics of Gamification. So I have used a diagram. If you look at this white paper, you will realize. We saw the diagram, player, game and game designer. So that is nothing but, you know, MDA in this direction and that direction. So mechanics, dynamics and aesthetics. So aesthetics is actually the emotional involvement. So that is where the players come in. Dynamics is the actual design which the player is using. So that is where the game comes in. And mechanics is where you work towards designing stuff. So that is where the game designer is from, right? So according to me, I mean, this stuff has really helped me a lot. It is very interesting. If you get a chance, please go through all of this. And if this course is declared again, please take it and do all the assignments religiously. It's very helpful, right? So yes, that's pretty much the end of it. And okay, your turn. You can ask questions. Thank you. And I really appreciate you all have been a very patient audience. It was like 5th session of the day, the last one, and you all sat through all 5 and all 4 and then still chose to attend the last one. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, anything? Any questions?
No questions? Game designer needs someone who wants to design a game. What sort of tools would he have to master?
I actually, don't understand why every time we have to go to tools, every time we have to go to books. What my answer to that is logic. Logical thinking. Get hold of a developer, brainstorm on ideas. Game designer, see, please don't mistake the role of game designer into as the role of a developer who is writing code for that particular game. No, it's not that. Game designers are people who will design that part. They will not code it. For that you have other lot of the gang. Sort of, yeah, you can call that. See, game designers, it's so different that whenever, okay, how do I put it? So game designers always put the player at the center. And the moment you do that, whatever is the outcome is an experience oriented design. So experience driven design as opposed to a feature driven product. So there's a lot of difference in that. You pay a lot of attention to the experience that the person is going to have as opposed to, what your skill set is and how many features you can include in one particular product. So there's a lot of difference between that. So did you confuse the game designer with somebody who is going to sit and develop a game? Is that so? No, right? Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Yes. Which one? Which one?
The all knowledge base and forums. What I can see, like the gamification concept can be only on the content which is available online.
That's my perspective, sir.
Okay.
It's not, carved in stone.
Okay. Okay.
This is my perspective. So this is like effective utilization of your knowledge. Save time on, putting in your effort to that part. Because I have thought over this portion a lot many times, and this is my observation. That most effectively you can make use of it here. Which should I? Okay.
Thank you. So gamification is new to me. Okay, so this presentation was very
Yeah, don't
useful.
worry, it's new to me also.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So question is, I'm trying to, your slide about think before you gamify was very interesting for me.
Yeah.
So let's say I have two kinds of users. One user is trying to solve a problem. Another user is trying to learn how to do something, like in a classroom setting, right? From what I heard from your presentation, to me it seems like gamification is more appropriate for the learning situation than for somebody who's trying to solve a problem where he doesn't want to play games, right? Did I get that correctly, or can gamification...
So can you repeat the last thing? No games what?
So let's say a person is trying to solve a problem, right? He's
solve
not
a problem and learn something.
No, there are two different use cases. So solving a problem is, I have a problem, I open my manual or something, and
right.
I need to get out of it as fast as possible.
Right, yeah.
And in the case of the second scenario, I have a classroom setting, right, where there's a product training going on, right?
Classroom setting.
It could be classroom, web-based or whatever, right?
Okay.
So basically the goal is to learn versus solve a problem, right? So my understanding from what you've talked so far is that gamification is more appropriate for the learning scenario than for the problem solving scenario.
Yes.
Have I got that correct? I just wanted to understand.
Yes.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, so if there are any more questions, can we take them offline?
You want to take them offline? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. This gentleman has been raising hand.
So basically just I'm new to this and I'm just learning that through Coursera. My question is, so basically the knowledge base or online help or e-learning, this is somehow well defined what a knowledge base should be, what the online should be. So do you still feel that the gamification will be different for different company, or it should be just a similar kind of thing? So that's my first question. And second question, if it's a similar, then is there any tool or product which is already giving that framework so that you can just integrate with that and you're done?
I'll answer the second one first. So I personally, I haven't come across any tool, to be very honest, because this is idea driven. It's not tool driven. So you design something, you use your knowledge to create something for a particular application. It's not, see, I'll tell you what the difference is. So for example, you have VB and there are some controls and you just put those controls. So that's like application design. It does not, this is not that. It's like it's like defining the journey. It's nothing, it has nothing to do with, you know, the UI and everything comes at a later point. The entire focus is on the involvement first.
So
And what can you do to get that?
yes, so
Yeah.
the thing was, that depends on my first questions. So like, if the gamification is same for the content, like because the knowledge base is well defined in that sense, because that's just fixed. So if the rule will be fixed, and so for the gamification for content will be something similar.
Gamification similar to what?
For every company who is generating content for knowledge base, let's say, or for online.
No, why should that?
So that was my first
So
question.
everybody will not do what CodeShare is doing, right? So you need, there has to be a need for choices. There are tutorials, many companies or many websites have all certain number of tutorials, but it's not that everybody is helping users learn in the same way. There's always going to be a difference, right? Why would everybody, you know, what's the fun in that?
Okay. So
So
to me,
just-
it's
just
the
that-
domain difference, not the methodology difference.
No, my point is that if, like you said, if there are two different portals belonging to two different companies, right? Let's just say that. Both the companies have a course on C. They have designed it for their own employees. My point is, why will the two things be different in terms of gamification? That was your question, right? It has to be same when this idea is same, implementation can be different. But does that answer? I can still discuss it with you. I have no problem.
Okay, but you can take that offline, please. So we are going to, I thank you, Swati,
You have to
first.
pray.
For the,
Thank you.
this is quite an interactive session, and I think everyone was wide awake during the session. You were asked plenty of questions. So thank you all, and thank you, Swati, again. So we break up for tea and networking, and then we have, as announced earlier, the Mad Hatter Tea Party, and a quiz, right? So we gather again later on.